So, I bet we can get some down here. Sort of a no-brainer when looking for drugs, wouldn't you say? She didn't have time to consider his proposition. When the doors opened, she had no choice but to follow him out onto the sidewalk in front of Owl Drugs, where she sidestepped a crippled pigeon. To Rebecca, the pigeons of the east side resembled the street addicts in that area of the city, twisted and broken as if they too had been segregated and snubbed from the rest of the pigeon population in Kitts and Yaletown. These broken birds knew instinctively they belonged to this neighborhood, and she nicknamed them junkie birds. She took to calling the prostitutes who lived in the area the same thing. "I hope you know what you're doing," Rebecca told Simon as they stepped off the bus. The night was chilly. Hookers cast shadows like chalk outlines that were illuminated under the faulty glow of wheezing neon signs. Bent men traipsed the sidewalk like decrepit security guards. The stink of urine invaded her nose. Swallowing, she thought of the childhood saying used to dispel a waft of smoke from a campfire, "I hate rabbits," and waited for the wind to change direction. A crowd closed in on the two of them, the strangers like carnies with their feral-eyed, toothless gawking. When she peeked at Simon, it was clear by the dazed look on his face he had no idea what he was doing. She secured her arm in the crook of his elbow for protection and tried to act casual. "We're looking for some blow," he said finally to a small man in a red plaid coat, before a large Hispanic man stepped forward, stopping inches from Simon. Simon regarded the big man nervously. Meanwhile, Rebecca met the gaze of a woman with hollow cheeks who was hovering on the edge of the descending pack. "You ever taste the spitballs?" asked the big man, chewing his words like beef jerky. It was a rhetorical question. Before Rebecca could look away, he'd unzipped the fly of his jeans, producing a handful of meticulously wrapped pouches filled with white powder. The capsules rolled around in his outstretched palm like tiny illegal ball bearings. "How much?" Simon asked. 45, said the man. He perused the streets over the heads of the crowd. Little Lumberjack tugged at Simon's sleeve, whispering for them to follow him. Mr. Spitballs focused his stare on Simon. "What, you want to check it out or something? Go ahead. I ain't got nothing to hide. This is the shit right here." To Rebecca's bewilderment, Simon proceeded to unwrap one of the caps and rub a fingertip of the coke against his gums, as if he was some kind of connoisseur at a wine tasting. He followed this with the reply of, "We'll think about it," and dropped the used cap back into the man's hand before pulling Rebecca out of the circle. They made a U-turn and followed the little lumberjack heading east. "I don't think that was the greatest idea," she said, glancing over her shoulder at Mr. Spitballs, who was zipping up his fly and shaking his head, looking furious. "It's my right to choose my own drugs," said Simon, head held high. "Yeah, but down around here?" said Rebecca, still incredulous. "I don't think window shopping is going to make us any friends." Simon didn't answer her.